It's another very interesting week for Elite Dangerous. Some of it good, not all of it excellent, but that's the way it is. The Panther Clipper, a massive new ship is on the way, but not without some controversy. Meanwhile, the Distant Worlds 3 organisers are planning a new pre-launch event for July, and talking of events, the Elite Community Meet is just around the corner. Here then are all the details. This is the latest episode of 3311, where I talk about all the news and happenings in Elite Dangerous. So we start with that Panther Clipper story. Now, as you may be aware, this was announced a little while ago. It's one of the most anticipated ships in Elite Dangerous history, if not the most anticipated ship. It's huge, it has a massive cargo hold, and Frontier have announced it's going to be releasing into early access on the 22nd of July. In this context, early access means picking up the ship with real-world currency, otherwise known as ARX. However, there is a bit of an issue here, and this came an announcement yesterday from Frontier. They posted it on their forums, and it was to do with the pricing of the upcoming Panther Clipper Mark II. Yes, you guessed it, it's a price increase. So let's take a look at exactly what that means. The recently launched ships, we've had a bunch of small ships and medium ships, all of them very, very nice ships. These were also available as an early access launch where you could purchase them with ARX, and on screen you can see their current pricing. They've been priced this way for a while at this point. And they come in two different pricing tiers. You have the standard price, which is 16,520 ARX, and the stellar ARX price, which is 33,000 ARX. Now, the stellar version of the ship comes with a few extras. You get a nice ship kit, a paint job, as well as a few internal ship components that you can use in the game, and these give you a little bit of an advantage with the ship over the standard version. Now, that's been at the price up until this point, but Frontier have said with the launch of the larger ships, such as the Panther Clipper, they want to increase the price for that large category. That means that the standard price for these ships is going to be at 19,020 ARX, and then the stellar ARX price is going to be 38,000 ARX. So, Frontier seems to be working on the logic here that a larger ship demands a larger price. It's strange sort of logic because you have small and medium tiered ships placed into the same pricing. If size was a factor, then why are small ships and medium ships priced the same way? Additionally, I'm not entirely convinced the Panther Clipper was significantly more work than the other ships. After all, Elite Dangerous doesn't have ship interiors or any other components that really would make a larger ship that much different to a smaller ship. But I'm not a games developer, I'm not a ship designer, so what do I know? That's just my opinion as a humble game player. So there we have it, I guess it is what it is. I've spoken about this before, my opinion is a little bit mixed because as a game player I don't really like microtransactions. I certainly don't like the whole idea of pay to win. But I don't feel that this is strictly speaking pay to win when it comes to Elite Dangerous, and I do feel that the money for these ships is going towards a good cause. It means that we're seeing all this extra content delivered into Elite Dangerous like the recent Trailblazer colonization update, and we got a few more updates on the way as well. So I guess if the cost of these ships is going to keep funding the ongoing development of the game, at least that is something. It's much better than Frontier taking the money for these ships and not improving the game. I guess you could argue we're getting the best of both worlds here. New ships and new content as well. It's just coming at a bit of a cost. Now, still on the subject of ships and new content, Frontier have confirmed that later this year we can expect to see another 2 ships. At the moment, there's no news on what these ships are going to be, but with the recent price increase on the large ship category, it kind of feels like at least one of these ships is going to be in the large classification. Otherwise, Frontier would have increased the price just for the Panther Clipper alone. Seems that they've created this new pricing category for a very specific reason. Speculation, of course, but I'm very keen to see a couple more large ships. It's very interesting to see which direction the Frontier go in with those. Obviously, the Panther Clipper is a cargo hauler, so any future ships will not fit into that particular category. They would have a different focus instead. For me, I'd love to see a larger sized ship exploration vessel. But that said, a large combat ship would also make a nice addition as well. Moving on, I wanted to give you an update on Distant Worlds 3. Now, Distant Worlds is a massive player-run event. There's been 2 of them so far, hence this one being called the third. And they're basically expeditions across the galaxy in Elite Dangerous. The first one was all the way back in 2015, I do believe. The second one was in 2018 to 2019. In both cases, they had thousands upon thousands of players actively involved. These are community-run events, community-organised events, and they have nothing to do directly with Frontier themselves. All of this is in the hands of the players. Now, Distant Worlds 3 is very likely going to be a huge, momentous event. There's going to be a lot of things going on here, and as such, the project has been organised ahead of time with a lot of pre-planning. If we look over on the official forums, you can see they've got steps along the way leading up to the January launch. And as such, there are a few steps that I wanted to talk about that we can expect to see in the coming months. Now, in June, they said that there was going to be a reveal and video demonstration of a key Distant Worlds 3 project, a project that's going to link everything together during the main expeditionary event. Now, unfortunately, that didn't quite go ahead. I get the impression that there was a few delays there because obviously that there is a lot of work involved in all of this. At any rate, the July event says announcing another pre-Distant Worlds 3 event based on the bubble and the local area. So that means that players shouldn't be expected to travel too far away from their home stations. An opportunity for the community to help us test aspects of the key Distant Worlds 3 project. Some more details on this soon. So again, not a lot of information here on exactly what this is all about, but we can pretty well speculate and I think we can be pretty accurate here in that speculation. So what we've got is a website. You can go to the Distant Worlds 3.space website, and you can see right there's going to be a new interactive platform. This is going to be a big sign-up and organisation platform which will allow for the coordination of the Distant Worlds 3 event itself. Additionally, they have said there's going to be some Distant Worlds 3-centric missions, and those, I guess, are going to be organised through this website as well, and those will likely require the API access to Elite Dangerous, meaning that whilst these aren't official in-game missions, they will nonetheless be missions that you can access outside of the game via this separate portal. Again, speculation there, but that seems to be the direction this is going in. If all of that holds true, then it would be likely the July event is going to be testing some of that software out, some of those platforms and organisational capacities out, just to see if they actually hold up and if they work, and to see how effective they're going to be. In August, there's also going to be a bit more information. They say we can expect an in-depth thread detailing the science project. That is the science side of what's going to be occurring on the Distant Worlds 3 event. They also say details revealed of the complementary projects and events. So yeah, this is going to be a truly huge event, loads and loads of organisation and preparation work going into this, and something I'm very looking forward to seeing. The full thread is linked in the video description if you want to find out more. Finally, we come to the Elite Dangerous Community Meet, or the Elite Community Meet. Now this is another player organised event. This time it's not in-game, this one is a real-world event. Basically where all players from all walks of life and all places on the globe meet up and get together for one big event. The meetup this year is taking place in Coventry, England, and as usual it's been organised by the people behind Hutton Truckers. There are still tickets available, so if you feel that this is your type of thing, then do check out all the information in the video description, where you can find a link to the official website where you can pick up some tickets if you so wish, as well as a forum thread where you can find out additional information about the entire meetup. So there we have it. That brings us to the end of this episode of 3311. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and there is another video on the screen right here if you feel like checking it out. See you soon.